Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are listening to Al Mubarak Radio with myself, Mr. Al Mubarak, on the build up to the Durud night. Alhamdulillah, we have around just over 45 minutes to go before the Maghrib Azan, and then it will be the night of Jum'ah. But Alhamdulillah, today being the eve of Juma. Alhamdulillah, we have a special guest on our show, and I'm very, very happy to be also having Maulana Rashid Kolasab of Dewsbury on our show today. Alhamdulillah, because I've also been noticing a lot of great efforts from this team, which I'm going to be inshallah talking about very shortly. And it's the efforts around Markazul Uloom, which is a Darul Uloom being built in Blackburn. Now, all of our regular listeners know, Alhamdulillah, quite a lot about the Darul Uloom regarding Monana Shaukat Dariwala Sahab of Batley, who also did a few programs regarding this. But there's a person, mashallah, who, mashallah, I know he wouldn't like to take all the credit. And I'm sure there's a big team behind this, because I'm seeing these, Alhamdulillah, this team active day and night. Believe me, it's incredible. As we get to know Maulana Rashid Saab, you will find out a lot more. So let's firstly welcome Maulana Rashid Kola Saab on to our program. Firstly, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Maulana Rashid Saab, it's absolutely beautiful firstly to have you on our show, and personal jazakallah for accepting our invitation.
Jazakallah, it's also an honor to be here, inshallah. Like I've said, for the sake of deen, and let's see how we, inshallah, we can benefit the people and the ummah with me being here, inshallah, in the studio today.
Maulana Rashid Saab, let's talk about Markazul Uloom. Okay, all of a sudden, even I received messages, I received a letter. I was actually an ex-student of Darul Uloom Bury. And it just goes to show that Darul Uloom Bury must have kept all the addresses, because the house which I originally used to live at many years ago, they actually dropped off a letter under my name. So Alhamdulillah, I got a letter from Darul Uloom Bury. So let's go all the way back, Markazul Uloom, and what is this project about, how it all came about.
Okay. Markazul Uloom is an institute, and it's a Darul Uloom in Blackburn. Markazul Uloom officially started in 1999, and Alhamdulillah, at that time when it first opened, it was a girls' boarding school, and Alhamdulillah, my sister also attended that boarding school at that time. And after, you could say, 6-7 years, we closed down as a girls' madrasa, and we opened up as a boys' boarding school. As years went by, there was a lot of work that needed to be done at the madrasa as well. And then it just became a normal day boarding Darul Uloom. Now, currently, as you always know, there's a lot of work, involvement, and building work and so on that needs to be done to bring it up to the regulations and up to scratch. So currently, at this moment in time, we only have day boarders there who come for a Hifz class. And on one side, like there's two parts to the madrasa, we also have the secondary girls' schools going on at the moment. The main building, where the building work started quite a few years back, that still needs to be completed. And for that reason, as a means of urgency, you could say, get this completed ASAP, so we could start it off as a boarding school again, inshallah. And that's what we're working towards.
So you are a teacher in Markazul Uloom, or do you?
No, what it is our Ustad, Sheikhul Hadith Hazrat Maulana Bilal Sahib, who is also the Ustad of, I would say, each and every person who has graduated from Darul Uloom Bury from day one. And also in his initial stages, when he first started teaching in Darul Uloom, he used to actually teach Arabi Awwal as well at the time. So people who are fortunate, who there at that time at Arabi Awwal, maybe didn't go on to finish it, Alhamdulillah, Maulana Bilal Sahib also became their Ustad. Now, because Maulana Bilal Sahib has been made responsible for this project here to get it completed, Maulana Bilal Sahib thought of some ideas of how we could actually raise funds and get the work done. So Maulana Bilal Sahib first started with a fundraising event in London, and after that he moved on to Bradford with Sheikh Ahmed Ali. And Alhamdulillah, as you all know, the Bradford event was very successful. And it's so being that Allah wanted me to be there, and I was there at the Bradford event. And after the event, they were sitting down having dinner, and I walked in. And me being a classmate of Sheikh Ahmed Ali, Alhamdulillah, and we're Pali, so we just started talking, and Sheikh said straight away to Hazrat Maulana Bilal Sahib, let's move on to Batley next. Here's Maulana Rashid, inshallah. He will take responsibility, and we will take the work on from Bradford to Batley. And immediately, I just thought at that moment in time, it's an opportunity for Sadqa Jariya. Sheikh Ahmed Ali there being my classmate as well, Maulana Bilal Sahib being there, my ustad. And at the same time, I think, you know what? Allah's maybe chosen me for this work. And I just blindly just said, yes, Sheikh. And Hazrat history, and that's how it all started.
Subhanallah. So, that is amazing. That's how it started. But let's talk about how many people are involved with you now.
Okay. What we currently did to start maybe is connected or was connected to Dalum, who either put a foot inside Dalum, got registered. Let's invite them all. They all know me. And let's call them all down and look, this is the work of Allah, this is the work of Deen. How can you help us? So we sent out roughly about 270 invites. And like you said, you got one too.
Ji.
Alhamdulillah. There were many who've moved addresses, but they got their invites, Alhamdulillah. When we first started in the first meeting, I think we had about 90 people that turned up, Alhamdulillah. And from there, we made the group, we made a list, we made a WhatsApp group, Alhamdulillah. And from there onwards, we've got about 78 active members at this moment in time in Batley and Dewsbury who are helping us on this project, Alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah, when it comes to about 10:30, 11 o'clock, I have to put my phone on mute because I am part of that group, Subhanallah. And mashallah, I have to say, joking aside, I've been, you can't help but notice the teams. Now, also, we have to explain this, is all the teams have got names and they're all split up into many parts.
Yes.
If you can just briefly explain on that.
Okay, what we did then was we thought to ourselves that we make separate teams because it's easier to work with teams. If you have a majma or a gathering of 70 people and they all want to work towards something, then it's difficult to say who's doing what. So what we did was we went by the areas. As they did in Bradford, they had some experience. Bradford 1, Bradford 2, whatever, but we don't have Batley 1, Batley 2. We're a small town, Batley and Dewsbury. So what we did was split up the groups according to the areas. Then we had a group in Dewsbury in the name of the Sayyid group. So on there, most of them were only the Sayyid family. So they made themselves as the Sayyid group. Then we had the Al-Badr group. Obviously, we named it Al-Badr because our Amir, Maulana Badr Alam Sahib, as you know, he is one of our elders and he is one of the seniors. So we made it Al-Badr group. And that consists of about 12 of us within the Savile Town, Thornhill Lees area. Then we had the Warwick Road area. So they named themselves Warwick Road. And then we had the good one, the Mount Pleasant one, who thought, we're not going to name ourselves Mount Pleasant. With Maulana Shaukat Sahib and his wife and his wisdom, they named themselves Mount Plaza. So that's how we made up the groups. And the good thing about it and the easy thing about it is that each group works in its own area. So we're not crossing each other's paths, we're not treading on each other's toes, and we know who to go and meet. So we made our groups, we made our list, and we started the mulaqats, alhamdulillah.
If any of the team or any of the members, or even if Sheikh Ahmad Ali or even Sheikh Bilal Sahib, if you're listening, watching this program, then you can call now. There's a number which is on the screen, 01924 472, and we can also put anybody of the team members, or even if as we go on to the show, inshallah, as Mona Rashid Sahib is explaining regarding Markazul Uloom, if anybody wants to call in and ask any questions, then by all means, the studio number is active on 01924 472 776. Or if you don't want to call in, you can also WhatsApp a message in on 07 868 476 577. That's 07 868 476 577. And on these very, very, blessed seconds as it's going towards Maghrib, if anybody would like to make a live donation as well, by all means, call the studio number. You can give a live donation to Mara Rashid Kolasab, and inshallah that could be, Mara Rashid Sab can also give you a dua, just before the Maghrib Azan as well, and can have the details also of exactly who to give the donation to. I mean, you can be in London, for example. And this is the next question that I would like to go to, that because, maybe right now there's listeners listening all over the country, because Alhamdulillah, we do have listeners from, example, Inverness, which is right up Scotland, right up till down south in London. And also, mashallah, there's people who listen from South Africa, Panama, Canada, in Toronto, and many other places, and also India. And also, as this program will be later on YouTube as well. So, Maulana, if somebody wants to make a donation, okay, example, from now or even later, then, how do, they approach, example, if they're not in the Batley, Dewsbury areas?
Well, it's quite easy. Obviously, it's the age of the internet and everything else. What they can do is we can give them the account number and the sort code, inshallah, and basically they can do online banking, or they can go and make a payment at any NatWest bank, inshallah, and we can give them the name of the account, inshallah, and that will go into our account. I'm sure, yes, I think it was posted on the WhatsApp today, so
yes,
you should have it there in front of you, inshallah.
We do have it.
Yeah. So if anybody does want to make a donation, inshallah, the name of the account is Markazul Uloom Central Account. So that's Markazul Uloom Central Account. The account number is 14598558. I will repeat that. It's 14598558, and the sort code